I know it's been 2 months since I've uploaded anything to this channel, um, but honestly, one of the main reasons is that I just did not have internet. I didn't have internet for like a month and a half, and the reason for that is even though I am earning money now, um, my old bank won't let me open up a bank account because I owe them money, and so I tried opening up a bank account in a new bank, but there was some problem with my name there. Um, because I have two names. I have two first names and two last names because I'm Mexican. Um, and that's apparently a thing with us. And so since I've only ever used one first name and one last name to pay bills and to get, like any form of ID or any of those kinds of things, apparently that affects me. So that other bank didn't let me open up a bank account, and those two banks were the closest to me, and so since I don't drive, I couldn't really go anywhere else. So since I don't have a card, I can't pay my internet bill. But recently, an old, and I mean very old, from high school, friend, I guess, because they used to be my friend back then, reached out to me saying that they wanted to talk, to catch up for whatever reason. And I just told them, yeah, sure, but I don't have any internet. Long story short, they were willing to pay my Wi-Fi bill, just so that we could talk. And they asked me that for like 2 weeks. And eventually, just because one day I was really bored, I just told them like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Here's my account. Log into it. Use your information to pay my bill, and then just remove your card when you're done. And they did do that. And we talked for like 30 minutes once, and that was literally it. Uh, so thanks to you, person. That was really random, honestly. But yeah, I guess thanks to them, I now have internet. Um, but I mean, regardless, it's not like I've been getting online much or to play video games because really Destiny doesn't really interest me as much anymore because I don't really feel much of a need to play it. And, you know, I don't really feel like playing any other games. Like right now, I'm kind of regretting starting up this Star-Crossed mission. I have played a little bit. I am at 48 power. I don't have the DLC. I don't see myself playing it, so I didn't decide to buy it. Maybe I'll change my mind later if I'm really bored. But I really don't think I will. Let me see. It's Hawk, Fish, and Dragon. But basically, I am not here to talk about the person that paid my internet bill. I am not here to talk about what I've been up to because I've just been going to work, coming back to my house, and sleeping, and then going to work, and then coming back to my house. Just the same thing over and over again. Um, I already forgot the pattern actually. Oh, it was the bird first. And what do you call it? That's exact same bullshit. What I'm here to talk about is, of course, my friend. It's it had been a long while since my friend and I had last talked, and last month, due to the heat and due to where they live, and apparently a problem with their apartment's AC, uh, they ended up in the ER. Um, they posted a story about it, with like the diagnosis that they got, and just a picture of them in the fucking ER. And honestly, I woke up to that because I fell asleep, obviously. And then when I woke up, I woke up and I saw they had ended up in the ER, and I freaked out, obviously, because at first I didn't read the paper of their diagnosis. I thought it was something. It was bad, don't get me wrong, but I thought it was something bigger, something far more worse than what had happened to them. And so, like when I saw that, I obviously couldn't help myself but reach out to them. And I spammed them, like message after message after message. Obviously, that's what spamming means, right? Um, I did that, and I was at work. Um, I was at work, and I honestly wasn't expecting to get a message. It's been basically 2 years since my friend last talked to me. So honestly, while I was at work, I was just checking my phone, seeing like if they updated anything on their social media, anything on their story to see like, hey, like I'm back in my home, doing so much better now, all this and like I was expecting, hoping to see something like that. Uh, so imagine my surprise when I brought up my watch and their name popped up, and it was that they messaged me. And honestly, I think the only reason they messaged me is because they weren't feeling the best still. Because after they went back home, they were still like on some not medication or anything, but they told me that they like a side effect of what happened to them was like an infection slash a virus. They weren't sure what. I guess they weren't like 100% there. So that's why they did end up messaging me because there's been other emergencies too before where I messaged them and they never answered. So this time it really caught me by surprise. They told me what had happened to them. They told me obviously that they had somebody be there for them, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. They told me that they were back home and that they were doing so much better. And then they thanked me for checking in on them. I just, said, of course, no problem. But, like after that, like the next day, I went back and messaged them again, checked in on them. And yet again, they answered. And that went on for 3 days where they were answering my text messages. I wasn't overdoing it. I wasn't pushing my luck. I wasn't, like apologizing. I wasn't telling them like, hey, can we try again? Can you be my friend again? This and that, like I wasn't doing anything like that. I was just genuinely checking in on them. Of course, in the back of my mind, there was an ulterior motive, but the main thing in my head was their well-being. Um, so like once they were feeling and doing so much better, that's when we stopped talking. Of course, that's how that works. Uh, but yeah, no, I mean, they ended up in the ER. Once again, it wasn't the worst thing that could have happened. It was kind of like a heat stroke. They had ended up in the ER because of hypomagnesemia, dehydration, and just the heat. Uh, so yeah, I keep saying this, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And that was last month. That was like 4 whole weeks ago. Maybe 4.5 whole weeks ago. And honestly, that entire time that they were messaging me, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I was like overthinking everything a lot. But like I said, eventually just their well-being is what took place, what took over my mind. Instead of like me wanting to apologize, saying all these things, asking them for a second chance. Instead of that, my mind did decide to thankfully prioritize their well-being. So I am glad about that. But yeah, that's the first time they messaged me in a long, long while. And it's about to be 1 year since I reached out to them a year ago, asking them, for forgiveness and all this and all that. I messaged them everywhere. And I mean absolutely fucking everywhere. From fucking PlayStation to social media to fucking the Destiny app. I messaged them and reached out to them wherever I could, asking for forgiveness. Absolutely no shame because, you know, I do want them back in my life. I do want to be a part of their life again. But I no longer have the right to do so. I no longer have the right. I am no longer anything to them. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And I guess I can also talk about the fact that obviously my friend has a new partner. He's the one that took her to the ER. He's the person who was there with her, who was there for her, who nursed her back to health. He took care of her, and I am very grateful. At one point, I was even feeling deranged enough to reach out to the guy and thank him. But then, like, why should I disturb their peace? So I didn't end up reaching out to him. That would have been a little bit insane, I guess. What was first again? Hawk, okay. But I did feel compelled to do that. My friend posted a thing also on social media about them going on a what was it again? Disc golf date. I'd always seen those things around my park. I'd seen people playing disc golf back when I was a kid when I used to go to the park with my family. I'd always seen those things, but I never thought of it as interesting or intriguing. But my friend went on a date uh, to play disc golf. And when I saw that, obviously my heart sank. I was happy for them, but also at the same time I was devastated because, I still love them and care about them, but they obviously no longer feel that way about me. So it was a little bit devastating. And yet again, instead of letting them have their peace, letting them enjoy their time, I decided to respond to their story. And I just wished them a good time. I didn't say anything more. I just wished them a good time. I know, like, I shouldn't even have said anything to begin with, but I couldn't help myself. That's a lot. That's always gonna be something with me. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. And yeah, but other than that, my life has been exactly the same, except for that major surprise. Once again, I wanted to make a video about the whole thing that they actually reached out to me. I was genuinely so speechless. Like when I saw their message drop, purple weapon refit. I have no idea what that is. But when I saw their message drop, I immediately felt sick. I didn't know how else to react. I just felt sick. I almost threw up on the spot. And I know that sounds like super cringy and exaggerated, but like genuinely because I was not expecting that. I'd grown so accustomed that whenever I messaged them, especially back then, there was a time where I messaged them daily, to check in on them, and that lasted for like 4 months. And not once did they ever answer. And even then, I've reached out to them. I've tried calling to them. I've done so many things, right? That where I wish I got just a singular answer, and I never did. So the fact that like I had grown used to and accustomed to the fact that they were never gonna answer, I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping that they would answer, but I was not expecting it at all. So when that message just when their notification popped up, when their name popped up, I was so thankful I was alone at the time because I really did almost throw up. Um, I remember I went up to one of the supervisors and I told them like, "Hey, I'm feeling pretty sick. Can I go take a break for like 10, 15 minutes maybe?" And thankfully they allowed me that because that's the first time I ever asked them for a break other than my lunch break. So thankfully thankfully they did give me that break. But like I couldn't believe it. I genuinely just couldn't believe it. And even now, I am impressed. I think I can't help but think that did I say the right things? Should I have asked for them for one more chance? Sh- I should I have apologized? Once again, did I say the right things? It when we were messaging, when I was asking them how they were doing, um, once again, one of their diagnoses in the ER was dehydration. Um, so I told them, like, I remember, this is what I told them, like, quote, starting right here. I was like, I remember your blood mostly consists of coffee and Red Bull. So when I saw dehydration, like, I immediately knew. I forget what I said exactly because I haven't gone back to reread the messages because it's scary. Um, but anyways, I said something along those lines, and well, they just sent some laughing emojis. I don't know if they actually laughed or, if they just let out air through their nose or if they were just like with a straight face sending those laughing emojis. Um, and then they explained to me that actually the AC was broken in their apartment and that, obviously via sweat and all this and all that, dehydration, hypomagnesemia, which is low magnesium in blood, uh, you know, everything built up. And once again, thankfully, they did have someone with them, someone who took care of them. I generally am glad about that, but you know, I don't, I honestly don't think this would have happened if if things had worked out between us, or would it have? Like I always wonder that. Like I said in that one video, I forget which video I made where I talk about like when I just get back to my house and I see this empty building, like I can't help but think like where would I be with my friend tonight? Would we be eating dinner? Would we be sleeping, talking, watching a show, doing something like where would we be? What would we be doing? Etc. etc. Um I also wonder like would that have also happened had we been together? I don't know. Man. I am always genuinely wondering about that. Always wondering how they're doing, where they are, who they're with. All the who, what, why, when, where, all those things. Always crossing my mind. Always, always, always. There isn't a singular moment when they aren't on my mind. Um, so I am. thankful. Oh, I forgot to add this though. Um, like on the third day, uh, when they last talked to me, um, I do remember though. I did say this. I just remembered that I did say this. This is also probably what also pushed them to stop messaging me and realize what they were doing. I I said I apologized. Obviously, I said I'm sorry, and then I also said I'm glad you're well now. Thank you for answering. Thank you for letting me know you're okay. I do remember I thanked them for that. And once again, since they were probably feeling better by the third day, and then when they read that message and they realized what they were doing and who and what I am, they realized they fucked up, and they were like, "Oh shit, let me stop messaging this guy." And yeah, you know. But they have been doing well. Another thing I wanted to add, um, on the picture they posted on their saying that they were going on their disc golf date. This is honestly painful, but I did want to add this too. Um, Obviously, you can tell that somebody's taking a picture of her, and obviously, I assume it's her partner. And the way that she's looking, not into the camera, but like at the person who's taking the picture, I genuinely don't know how to describe the look she was giving them, but I do know that that is the way she used to look at me. So getting to see, those eyes shining bright, getting to see that smile at least one more time, it was incredibly bittersweet. And like I said, I wish them a good time together. I'm glad. I'm glad they're doing well. But anyways, I finished the mission Star-Crossed. It's getting late. I gotta go buy something to eat. Maybe if I can even eat anything right now. My laundry's probably almost done. And like I said, it's getting kind of late. And then I do have to work tomorrow. I don't really care about my sleep schedule, but you know, I do gotta try to fix it. I still go to sleep like at 4 or 5 a.m. and then I go to work I wake up at 8 or 9 a.m. sometimes, because I have to be at work at 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m. I'm sorry, I can't think at the moment. Man, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say for now. Wherever you are today, my friend, whatever you did, whatever you are up to, whoever you're with, you know, all those things. I truly, genuinely hope, wish, and pray that you're having a wonderful time. And if it's not a wonderful time, I just hope it's at least a good time. I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're warm or cool because it's really hot. I hope you're happy. I hope you're at peace. I hope you're well. I really am sorry that I can't be there to take good care of you, to be the one who is there when you need someone to be there for the good and the bad, through sickness and in health, and all those other things, you know. I really am sorry, but I am glad you have found someone. I am glad that you're able to heal from all the damage I caused you. I am glad that you had the courage to be able to forgive and love again, even if you didn't forgive me, you know. I am glad that you're okay. I am sorry I failed us, our family. I hope that he's wonderful to your little ones. I hope they like him. I hope they love him. And I hope he loves them too. God. Yet again, I am sorry. But truly, my friend, thank you so much for telling me, for reaching back out, even if it was at least once, even if it was just a mistake. Thank you for letting me know that you're okay. I truly am grateful for that. Goodbye, my friend. I love you. Please, please, please take good care of yourself. Take good care of your little ones. And take good care of your partner. I hope you're having a wonderful night.